Hello everyone on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Today I'm going to give you 7 tips on how to up your water intake. Upping your water intake might seem like an easy task, but for so many of us it's actually something that's hard to do, and most of us are not getting enough water. Unless I purposely try to up my water intake, I have a problem drinking enough water, because to be honest, I could go most of the day and never actually drink water. Now, I could drink tea that has some water in it, but to just drink water, I seldom want water unless it's in the summertime, and even then, I drink very little. So for a lot of us, I do run across people that they love water, and I'm kind of a little jealous in that case, because I wish I did love it more. I will say, however, I have seen this from past experience. When I did start drinking water, it may take you a week or two, but if you make yourself drink water every day and leave off other beverages, you will soon get to where you actually desire water. Because so many times our bodies are actually thirsty, but we feel like we're hungry, and we get up and go eat instead of drink a glass of water first and see if that helps. So today I'm going to quickly just give you 7 tips that was put out by the Mayo Clinic, Mayo Health Clinic, and I basically did a little research myself to help me decide some ways that maybe I could increase my water intake other than just by force and making myself do it, which part of it is making yourself follow some tips. But tip number 1 is to flavor it. You can add fruit. The main ones would be lemons, limes, and oranges, but you could also add strawberries or watermelon. Now, several years ago, when people were putting lemon in, even in restaurants, a lot of times people will put lemon in their tea, and I've never liked to do that. I've never liked it in my water. And the first time I ever tried putting something to flavor my water, I thought it was awful, and I said I would rather drink water, just plain water, than this if I can't have my tea or drinks or whatever. Having said that, I guess I acquired a taste over time, because I would try it every now and then. And sure enough, I've come to the place now that I can I'll drink water most of the day now, but usually at least once a day I feel like I need to put something in it just to give me a little change up. Especially at mealtime, I can tend to drink water better in between, but at mealtime I tend to want something else. So anyway, but tip number 1 for upping your water intake, if you don't like it plain or just to give it a little change up, would be to flavor it, put some fruit in it. Tip number 2 is to tie it to a routine. Anything that we get in the habit of doing and we have a routine, we're going to stick with it better. For example, it could be every time I brush my teeth, I'm going to drink a glass of water. Every time I eat a meal or go to the bathroom, or you name it. What I did a few years ago, and some of my family kind of laughed about it, but it worked. I had a chart I had printed offline from someone that had these, it had like Monday through Friday, and out by it had some little pictures of glasses of water. And at that time, I think I was doing 8 glasses a day. Actually, it is suggested 2.7 liters for women per day and 3.7 liters for men. And I've also heard that you need to do about half your weight in ounces, the water in ounces. For example, if you weighed 200 pounds, that you needed to drink about 100 ounces of water a day, and 128 would be your gallon. Now, having said that, I used to do 16-ounce glasses at a time and do it 8 times a day, or that was my goal. And if I came short and only did 6 or 7, I was still doing pretty good. But if you don't like water at all, and it's hard for you to get down a 16-ounce glass at a time, start with 8 ounces. If it's 8 times a day with 8 ounces, that's 64. That's a start. And after a week or two, maybe up it to 10 ounces and get used to that, and just gradually work your way up to that. But as far as the routine, I would go by during the day, and every time I drank a glass of water, I would color in one of those little glasses on there. And like I said, they thought that was funny, but it worked. Another thing I used to do is I'd start at 6 in the morning, because I'm an early riser. So at 6, I would do my water every 2 hours. So it'd be 6, 8, 10, and 12 was my first 4 glasses, and 2, 4, 6, 8 at night was my other 4. Now, if I happen to be up and want to start at 5:30, I might get to running ahead, but it's say at 7:30, if that was my second glass, I'd call that my 8 o'clock water and my 10 o'clock and so on. And that helped. But anyway, number 2, tie it to a routine. Number 3, another way is to up your water intake is to eat it. Many fruits and vegetables have a lot of water in them, have a lot of high water content. So you could put some melon in your water. I mean, you could eat some melon, I'm sorry. This is eat it. You could eat some watermelon, cucumbers, lettuce, celery. All that is high water content. So at least, you know, do that and that'll help your water intake. Number 4 is to track it. It kind of goes back to what I said. I was tracking it with that little chart on my refrigerator, but nowadays you could actually, if you choose to, invest in a high-tech bottle that will connect to your smartphone and it will record how much you drink. I looked up some of those. I saw one for $25, one for $49, one for $69, you name it. Some of them will even talk to you or give you little updates and tell you they're smart. But if you choose to do something like that, or let it be for a gift, that maybe someone was about to get you and you said, hey, I'd like one of those. But if not, you could also track it on a calendar or a chart like I did. But if you track it, you're more likely to do it, because if I'll keep up with how many I've done that day and I realize I've only done 3 or 4, I'm more likely to drink some more. But if I don't keep up with it, I may think, oh, I think I've had quite a few glasses today. So tip number 4 is to track it. Tip number 5, challenge a friend for a kickoff, or in other words, kick off a healthy competition and do it with a friend or even your child or children to see who can meet their goals the most often. Of course, if you're doing it with a child or even a friend, your goal might not be the same amount every day as theirs. So basically you would set your goal and then see who can reach the goal, but it's just a little friendly competition. Some people work better like that, a little under pressure or under competition or a little accountability. So tip number 5 would be to challenge a friend. Now, tip number 6 is to take it on the go. It can be challenging to drink enough of water when you're on the go, and I actually have problems with that sometimes, drinking enough when I go off. But always grab your bottle before you leave and take it with you full of water. And I do that, but then a lot of times if I'm gone several hours, I tend to still not drink enough. I forget. I used to could not stand to buy a bottle of water when I'm off because, we used to think water's free. Of course it's not, but I've decided that, hey, if I'll pay for a soda or something else, so why not pay for a bottle of water? It's healthier for me. So if I need to, I'll even buy some water while I'm gone now to make sure I'm drinking enough. But tip number 6 is to take it on the go with you. Otherwise, you may lose a lot of hours in the day that you need to be drinking your water. And number 7, the last tip, is to alternate your drinks. If you can't give up your soda or juice, for example, just cold turkey, so to speak, just try alternating it. In other words, every other time you get something to drink that day, one time drink a glass of water, the next time drink your glass of tea or juice or cola or whatever you're used to drinking. Next time water, back and forth. And then you can just gradually get used to drinking more and more water. So a quick recap on the 7 tips, for drinking and to up your intake of water would be: number 1, flavor it. Number 2, tie it to a routine. 3, eat it. 4, track it. 5, challenge a friend for a friendly competition. And 6, take it on the go. And 7, alternate your drinks. I hope if you're trying to do an uptake on your water, which is very healthy and good for you, it keeps everything regulated a lot better. It actually helps you to lose weight. But if you are having trouble doing it, think about these tips and try to, if you don't do all of them, pick you 1 or 2 and start. You always have to start somewhere. I'm usually an all or nothing person, so I tend to, think I've got to go ahead and do 16 ounces 8 times a day. But like I said, start slow and gradually work up to it. I hope you continue to have a good Sunday afternoon, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.